Horrifying details emerged this week in the case of a woman whose remains were found stuffed inside a freezer at her home. The body of Frances Walker, 69, was discovered inside her home where she rented out rooms to female tenants. In the wake of Walker's death, 36-year-old Sandra Collier, 36, has been charged with first-degree murder and concealment of a homicide. Collier was charged on Wednesday night with murdering Walker, her landlord. Police said she used large butcher knives to dismember Walker's body before placing the remains in a freezer, Fox Chicago reports. Also, tenants in the Chicago home, located on the 5900 block of North Washington Avenue, said they heard screams at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Monday. Chicago Police Chief of Detectives Brendan Dinihan said in a Wednesday news conference, "The residents were very cooperative when they heard the scream. When they woke up in the morning, they immediately started texting the victim, started calling the victim. The victim didn't answer. There were some texts that were sent back from the victim's phone. It appears from what we know now that the defendant was sending texts from the victim's phone and not answering it." Dinihan also said it appeared large butcher knives were used to dismember Walker's body. Investigators suspect Walker was dismembered on the first floor of her home as blood was found on knives and in her bedroom. Walker, a pianist for her local church, was a beloved member of the community where she lived for decades. Fran was gentle, sweet, generous, kind. "I just can't believe an ending like this," said Kerry Habata, co-founder of the Evanston School of Ballet where Walker played piano. Her neighbors grew worried after not seeing her tending her garden over the weekend. Walker had been an avid gardener, who could often be seen walking her dog Lucy around the neighborhood. Walker's disappearance. One of Walker's tenants reported her missing on Monday and said that she'd seen another tenant carrying a heavy bag to a tow truck. Police tracked down the driver, who said that a woman had dropped off the bag at a lakefront garbage can. He also told cops that she had pulled a knife on him. The bag was found by police, who said it contained blood-soaked tracks. After finding this, police entered Walker's home and made the grim discovery inside the freezer. When the police arrived, that individual told the police there was another suspect who lived in the residence, who the other tenants were afraid of, said Dinihan. And that suspect had recently called a tow truck and carried a heavy bag out to the tow truck. Based upon that evidence, the detectives were able to go into the residence, and they eventually discovered human remains in a freezer. At that point, we backed out of the residence to secure a search warrant. Possible motive? When Dinihan said that Walker had given Collier an eviction notice as recently as Saturday. Collier's ex-husband, who wished to remain anonymous, told the Chicago Sun-Times that he couldn't imagine her murdering someone. The two ended their marriage in 2008 after he joined the U.S. Army and moved out of the country while she moved to North Carolina before eventually relocating to Chicago. He said Collier attended community colleges to get her life back together and pursued a career as a certified nursing assistant. "Based off the time we had in North Carolina, this is what I knew about her," her ex said. "But people change over time. People do."